Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
Hi, Ike Engelbaum. I am really excited about a new sponsor, and that is Memory Health. These are vitamin capsules that you take 3 a day, and it improves your memory. Memory Health has been proven to be scientifically helpful for early stages of Alzheimer's. In fact, it has been claimed that it can even forestall Alzheimer's. Dr. Joel Kahn made this statement, in my more than 30 years of practicing medicine, no other product has ever come close to truly supporting brain health like Memory Health. It's a safe, natural supplement. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980, 888-489-8980. And good morning for the weather that we have for the next 3 hours or so. What a wonderful, wonderful day it is. It is so terrific to see green stuff growing on trees, and also having the whole feeling that spring and summer really may come to fruition. Our summer is not exactly one that we can say 3 months or 2 months. You go day by day. Anyway, show is titled Bright Side of Aging, and I try to maintain that theme of where we talk about life not from the dark side, but from the bright side. And I'm so pleased that as I've done this program now for almost half a century, in fact, it goes back to the last century, and I really appreciate the opportunity to connect with people not only via radio, and I certainly hope that Ford Motor has a rethinking. They're considering eliminating AM radio. I hope it doesn't come to be, but as you may know, our program is heard on the internet. Then we put it on YouTube. And if you wish to speak to me as human being to human being, my toll-free number is 888-489-8980. I'm very serious about this. You should really write that phone number down and keep it in all kinds of places so that if you have a senior that's sort of down and out, or just a senior that wants to stay connected, that we can help them connect with other seniors. I'm very proud of co-hosting a friends group that I started with my good friend Jerry Gilfix, who is a pharmacist, as so am I, and over at the Caustic Center, 11 Mile and Middle Belt, we meet the first Wednesday of each month. You are welcome to join us. It's free to attend, and we most of the time have a few free refreshments so we can refresh you and connect you with new friends. One of the most important things and lessons that I think we learned from that COVID virus fiasco, we're still not out of the woods, but certainly a heck of a lot better, is that suddenly people realized when they lost that connection how valuable it is to stay in touch. This is the closest thing, radio, in my opinion, of being in touch as to being there in person. And you know, there's another advantage of doing it via radio. You probably wonder, what does this guy look like? Well, I'll tell you right now, I have a face made for radio. How many people can say that honestly or dishonestly? Anyway, the voice has got such a great connection with people. Call friends that you haven't talked to, and hopefully make new friends from various groups. I'm a proud member of the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield, as well as the Optimist Club of West Bloomfield. The Rotary Club meets every other Friday from 12 to 1. Fantastic group of people, just as is the Optimist Club, which meets every other Tuesday, 7:30 in the morning. So if you want to have breakfast or lunch or just talk, give me a call at 888-489-8980. And you talk about connections. My guest, who regards herself as an empathy mom, Jen James, is a member of the Optimist, actually the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield. And the only way I ever got to know her was through the Rotary Club. Is that right, Jen?
That is right. I recently moved to the West Bloomfield Club from a previous club, so right. I was really grateful to get to know you and continue to get to know you.
Well, that's such a great remark. They should actually write a song like "Getting to Know You."
Oh, yes.
I can sing the whole thing, but no one ever wants to hear it. Anyway, Jen James, you came up with a rather intriguing title. I learned that word yesterday, intriguing. Are you impressed?
Yeah, that's a juicy word, as I would say to my children.
Well, so what regards you as an empathy mom?
Sure. I think starting out sharing a little bit about my background will really help with where that comes from. I've been in the mental health and crisis intervention prevention space for about 13 years now, a little over, and I've connected with a lot of people and empathy is a crucial part of supporting people. And I'm also volunteer my time as a virtual counselor to a school nonprofit called Children and Youth First, Life Vision Academy. It's a school with underprivileged children in Nepal. So I'm very passionate about that. And I'm also a blogger and a life coach. So I help with that. I support others in short-term goals and ways of connecting wellness and health in that way. How I came up with Empathy Mom, well, I have 2 children, so that helps. There are three different versions. So you have empathy, you have sympathy, and you have apathy. Mm-hmm. And to divine them, there was a great YouTube video, but I can sort of give you the gist of it. Apathy. So you imagine a person, you walk up, and there's a hole in the ground, and there's a person in the ground. You look down. Apathetic people will go and look and just walk away. They don't care. They have no feelings whatsoever about that person in need. With a sympathetic person, which is great to have sympathy. I'm not discounting sympathy at all. But a sympathetic person will walk up, look in the hole, and say, "Oh, that sucks that you're in a hole. Sorry to hear that," and then just walks away. And where empathy comes in, and an empathetic person is, you see the person in the hole, and you say, "Wow, that's really scary. Can I help you?" And you throw a ladder down or a rope down, and you support that person coming up. So empathy is really understanding the situation, and empathizing with the person, and really going a little extra mile of supporting them in providing that support with them, whether it's having a conversation like you are offering to your viewers and listeners, as calling a number to have that. That's a very empathetic way of supporting people.
And in other words, it's getting involved rather than just acknowledging and saying, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Right.
I'm sorry is really such a useless thing when someone is in need of help.
Yeah.
And if you see someone drowning, in fact, that you see him drowning and you feel sorry about it, it's not going to save that person.
Exactly. And offering help, like you may not know CPR, you may not know how to save someone from drowning, but you may reach out and say, "Hey, is there someone there that can help this person? I noticed they're drowning." And that's sort of where the empathy comes in, is sort of, you don't have to know everything, but you know that there's a way that you can support them, whether calling 911 in these emergency situations. Right. So
I have a weird way of looking at life, and that's one of the joys I have in doing the radio show, is that it gives me an opportunity to express them without upsetting my wife, who's tired of hearing this stuff. But that's my problem.
Well, that's kind of where Empathy Mom came in, is because my children would often hear me and know what I do for a living, and would see that, and they would apply it to their life. And so I would often be asked, "Wow, you have really empathetic children, what do you do?" And I often say my children were raised on sarcasm and wit, and it just happens to be they recognize my husband and I, and so it's all about, what they perceive and what they see. And so Empathy Mom came about based on that.
Well, that's wonderful. Do you have a contact phone number that you'd like to give out, or?
I do. I use right now, I go by email, and it's theempathymom@gmail.com. Maybe we could put that in the YouTube notes or something like that.
Right. Well, that's why I promote my toll-free number, for that very reason. We were talking off the air about the frustration that we were facing now with the internet and all. There's so many services that you can only connect via the internet. And if you like the old-fashioned way of hearing, I just mentioned the value of a voice.
Yeah.
Call my toll-free number, 888-489-8980. And in fact, there is more, ladies and gentlemen, and that is, if you are frustrated by needing services that are out there, that are only available on the internet, call me at 888-489-8980, and I can put you in touch with Jen James. That sounds like a showbiz name, Jen.
It is. It's, it's showbiz for sure. I lucked out in the marriage department there. I say it's kind of like a superhero. I put my hands on my hips and I have a cape and I'm like, Jen James, superhero.
See, it's a shame we don't have the TV cameras, right?
You can imagine what I'm doing right now. And like, it changes in my voice when I
am your witness. She has got her arms on the hips, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. And when we get back from our brief break, I'd like to find out a couple of things about some of the resources that you recommend, and also about your life coaching part. Stand or sit by, folks. Don't go away. For over 30 years, Cruise Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruise Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruise Hearing direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. Hi, Ike Engelbaum. One of my sponsors is Cofix Nasal Spray. You can spray the inside of your nose and almost have the same benefits as a mask. In fact, it's been so well proven that it's now on the market in drugstores. Cofix RX. Spray it in the nose. 45 seconds later, you have up to 8 hours like a shield inside your nose. It's been scientifically proven. I'm really excited about it. I use it anytime I go out in a huge crowd. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980. 888-489-8980. And we're back, and hopefully you are. And by the way, if you enjoy hearing this program, tell your friends to join us if you like the program. And if you don't, tell your enemies, okay? But it'd be nice if you could tell your friends we're on the air. We try to make it so that it's informative as well as entertainment. And I welcome anyone out there that has a positive attitude to share, to be a guest. And that's the wonderful thing about radio, is that now, and it's been around for years, is you can just call in. Just call me on our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. And we were talking before we got off the air on our break that about empathy and apathy and sympathy. And, you know, there are a lot of people that talk about being empathetic, but don't do that much about being empathetic. Well, Jen James, who's my guest, is an empathy mom. Not to sound like a chauvinist, but couldn't Dad somehow be tied in with your name?
My name is my name, but it doesn't necessarily limit me from helping whoever. And, you know, because I am a mom, so I'm going to go with that. Like, there's no discrimination whatsoever with anyone and everyone that I talk to.
Okay, well, are you ready for a wow? You're supposed to say yes.
Of course I am, yes.
All right, because if you think about it, the word mom, if you put it upside down, is wow.
It is.
Wow.
It is, absolutely.
No, I really think it's such a shame when people do not have the right family functional type situation and they don't have a mom and a dad. Because I think that's, you know, maybe overly philosophical, but I think one of the biggest problems we have today in our society is that family structure is so loosened up.
I think, too, with my empathy mom, it expands as a mom. Like, I am that person. If you don't have a mom that can hug you or a mom that's supportive, like, reach out to me. And I can fill that little bit of a gap for you and that void in supporting whatever, you know, your ventures are or whatever their ventures are. So I think it's a broader spectrum with using empathy mom. I am a female, so I look at mom, and like I said, I am a mother. So I like to show that there is somebody out there. There is someone who does care and can be that support for you.
Right.
So those are my goals.
Well,
and I don't have my parents anymore. Both my parents have passed. And so looking at that and recognizing how I grew up and having that supportive mother and father that I want to
That's
give
right,
back.
and still well, good for you. It's really been a delight to have you as part of our membership. And by the way, folks, if you don't live in the Oakland County area or wherever you live, all over the world, consider joining up your local Rotary Club or Optimist Club. And if you call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980, I'll be more than delighted to connect you with your local club. The connections you make are phenomenal because we really reach out to one another. And think about it. You don't join a service organization just to have something to do. It's because you do have a feeling of helping others. It's given, actually, Muhammad Ali has been given credit for the quotation, but I like to actually use it under my Ikeism. And his quotation was that servicing, helping people, is the rent that you pay while you're on earth to be there in the first place. Yeah. So we're paying rent.
We are. And the Rotary Club, once I joined, I didn't have, I didn't understand what Rotary really was and the people that were really in Rotary. I had a different mindset of it, and it's such a diverse group, and I appreciate that of meeting new people and meeting different people in my life to give. And we are people of action. We're here to serve.
Yeah, right. And the people are empathetic.
Yes, you have to be when you are when you're supporting others.
Yeah, and we have fun, and we also give back, and we try to help the needy in the respective community. Now, I admire your creativity and all, and your activity as well. Give us some resources that you feel seniors might benefit, and describe the respective groups.
Yeah, I really looked deeper into the research and resources when my mom passed away tragically and my dad was left alone. They were married 60 years. He suffered from Alzheimer's, and once my mom left, that companionship, it was starting to deteriorate. So that loneliness of dealing with him. And I dove in a little bit more, and especially during the COVID pandemic, you saw a lot of an increase of people with loneliness, missing companionship, especially in the older adults demographic. And luckily now that percentage is going down. During 2020, June of 2020, it was at 41%, and now it's at 37%, which, we like to see that, but there still is a problem there. And so some of the resources, one was therapy for my dad. We looked into the VA. We were able to get him some therapy to help him provide that. And we were engaging in the senior centers, the local senior centers, as best as we could. A lot of it was online, due to COVID. But all of the resources that I'm going to offer, you can find by a phone number. And I'll give you the main website, but I also want to recognize that some people just want to call. And 211, all you do is call the number 211. You give them your zip code, tell them what you're looking for. They'll be able to provide some services in your area. One of the services is called Connect to Effect. And there it talks about ways that you can volunteer about things that you care for. And there's it called Senior Planet, which is a free online class that is linked on that website to help engage your brain and body. So those are helpful. Helpguide.org has a fantastic area with aging, and it has lots of topics about healthy aging, relationships, and caregivers. And then last, what I looked for my father was whatsyourgrief.com. And this had a community of not only for caregivers of somebody who's, for me as a caregiver for my father, it really brought in different forums and ways to help process that grieving process. Supported people, live discussions. There were grief book clubs. There's lots of different things. Sometimes there's a membership cost, but they're not that. I wouldn't offer it if it was a huge amount. I try to offer free services as much as possible. But those three, and again, I can give you the direct links to add to the YouTube channel for others who are listening, that they can find it that way if they feel a little more tech savvy and wanting to look at it online. But again, 211 is really the United way. 211 is the United way. And if you call on your cell phone or your home phone 211, you will get a person that answers the phone, and they can help walk you through on what services you may be looking for.
Well, and as a safety net, if you are frustrated with all the numbers, always feel free to call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. We only have about a minute left, and I want to address your life coaching part of your body.
Well, thank you. I think when I'm new to life coaching, I'll be completely honest. I don't like to put out there that I'm like a fantastic person, but I am a fantastic person. My life coaching is really about health and wellness. So it's more short-term goals and ways to support you. So if you're struggling with, I'm not here for therapy, or long-term support, but I am here to help supply, a way to guide you to finding whatever needs or goals that you're looking for. And this is all ages. This is not something, and like you said, you can call the toll-free number that you provide to be able to connect with me, or my email is theempathymom@gmail.com, and then if you email me, I can connect over the phone or...
Right. Well, what I picked up from the meetings that you've attended for the Rotary is that you really are very open, like you brought out, that it's not like you've got an extensive experience on it, but because of your involvement, you can at least guide the people to the person they may need.
Exactly.
And there are so many people that, how many times have you heard, when you ask somebody, how do you feel, they say, well, I don't complain because no one listens. Well, we listen.
Absolutely.
I am very serious. Please take my word for it. I've been doing this show for, as I mentioned, almost half a century as a pharmacist, and also being a caregiver for my parents. I really feel empathetic.
You know those experiences. You understand the feeling.
Right, the feeling, right. And the truth of it is that a lot of people feel like it's a weakness to ask. Asking is really a sign of strength. It means that, hey, I just need some guidance. We're here to give you that guidance.
I also think that the most important thing is to recognize that even if you see someone struggling, it's okay to ask.
So, just ask. Right now, unfortunately, we run out of time.
That's all right.
And I don't want to leave this segment without my favorite parting thought, which is, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. And that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with the bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other in achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, EntrepreneursNetworkofMichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. Family run for over 88 years, Front's Hardware has remained family owned and operated. Friends Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Friends Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Friends Hardware.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
And we're on, and hopefully you are as well. I am really excited about having teamed up now with 2 networking organizations. As I may have mentioned, we have a group called Schmooze, where we meet every other Wednesday night, depending on the weather and all. And if you're interested in networking and building your reach to other business people, by all means, give me a call at 1-888-489-8980. The Schmooze Group, who has really been devoted to the memory of a phenomenal entrepreneur who unfortunately is no longer around. Tom Stark was a superhuman being, and he's tagged on with us when we have the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan group going, and now with Schmooze, we've adapted the same principle. You meet dynamic, creative people who help each other in getting businesses started as well as implementing them. And also the Great Lakes Chamber of Commerce out in Oakland County is sort of a conglomerate of 4 different networking groups. If you call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980, I would love to put you in touch with those groups or join me with the meetings. And it's just a phenomenal way for you to really not only build your business, but also to get ideas from people who may have considered trying to get involved in that area. So you make great connections. And the only way you'll ever grow in business is to make sure that once you have that magic word called passion, if you have a passion for a particular business, and right along with that is the talent. I mean, it's one thing to have a passion. I would love to be a basketball player, but I'm like 5'7" and shrinking. And I think my chances of being a superstar in basketball is not realistic. I like the game, but in life you have to be realistic as well as talented, but also optimistic. But once you decide what you want to do, you want to be at the top of your field. And there are three groups of people on earth. There's one group of people that make things happen. There's a second group of people that watch things happen. And unfortunately, the largest number of people in the group are in the group titled, they stand around and say, well, what happened? Well, don't get in that third group. Surround yourself with people that can identify what's happening. What's happening now is that suddenly just running an ad in the newspaper, or as much as I'd love to have you as a sponsor of the radio show, there's also the whole world of digital marketing. There's artificial intelligence. So what's happening is that you have to suddenly, as they say, recalculate. And the only way you can be successful today is to take advantage of what is going on and surrounding yourself by talented people that can get you involved rather than being a spectator. One of the most dynamic people in the whole digital and internet and marketing by way of what is going on now is one of my good friends and member by the name of Rosh Sillars. I try to pester him and say, Rosh Sillars, you should be called Sizzling Siller Marketing. Are you still against doing that, Rosh?
I'm just not sure I'm ready for that, Ike. That may be just a...
Okay, all right. You're thinking.
You're thinking.
You're thinking.
You'll wear me down. I know it. You'll wear me down.
Rosh, you are, as they say, multi-talented, and I really enjoy working with you, and I've had you make calls with me on some of my potential clients and current clients. And I really respect you for your knowledge. And what's a better deal is they respect you. So tell the folks your 60-second elevator pitch. Go for it.
Sure. Again, my name is Rosh, and I own an agency, a media company, that mostly focuses on Google. So SEO, pay-per-click, YouTube. Those are my areas, but I work with algorithm. I work with algorithms, and I work with technology. And that's certainly today, new technology.
Mm-hmm. And you also are a professional photographer too, aren't you?
Yes, actually, oddly enough, that's what my degree is in. It's in photography, and I've been in the media for a long, long time. But I've also been an internet geek, and my two worlds have certainly collided over the last number of years. And so, I do both. And that's why I kind of call it a media company, because we deal with media in many forms. So,
yeah, I know. I drive people crazy giving them advice that they don't want to hear. But by the way, you know why free advice is so cheap? The answer is there's more supply than demand. Anyway, you got a beautiful studio there in Pleasant Ridge, Michigan, right on Woodward North of 9. And if you're interested, I am a firm believer in my Ikeisms, as I like to call them, and that is about the further back you look, the further ahead you can see. Well, the truth is, right now, if you're seeing all the, internet capabilities and artificial intelligence, there is no reason why you can't use some of these strategies that were used in the past. Having a great photograph, and also putting it in the right places makes all the difference in the world. Not to go off track too much, but reminded of an anecdote of this doctor that gets his furnace breaks down in the height of winter in the coldest part of the day or the year, and he calls this furnace repairman, and the repairman comes out and says, "Where's the furnace?" And the doctor shows it to him, and he looks at it, feels it. Then the furnace repair guy kicks the furnace, and suddenly the furnace kicks on and exudes all this heat. And the doctor is really impressed. He says, "Wow, that is really incredible. You got it, the furnace going so quickly." He says, "How much do I owe you?" He said, $500. He said, $500? I'm a doctor. I do surgery. I don't charge those kind of fees. He said, "Well, to tell you the truth, my visit here is only $50. But $450 of that is for me to know where to check the furnace." So likewise, a lot of people have an idea, but they don't exactly know where to have it shown so they can get the biggest return of their time. Do you want to share some thoughts in regards to your strategies as to what's going on?
So yeah, I mean, we've talked on previous shows about the AIs, artificial intelligence. We had that conversation this morning, and you wanted to kind of get back on that track. And I have a feeling it's a conversation we'll be having a lot because AI is going to be, artificial intelligence is going to be pretty much in just about everything. I dare say you'll find it in your toaster not too long from now, and it's something that we're going to have to be able to deal with in some way. And you rather be there are two people moving forward: the people that direct the AI and the people who do what the AI says. And I think you're going to have to decide where you want to be in this equation. And so right now, we're learning how to interact, how to use what we refer to as prompts, asking good questions. And it's just like with any kind of computer, garbage in, garbage out. And so if you learn how to interact with it and talk, you'll be able to really solve some problems that you didn't know you could solve. Because it has a connection to such a vast amount of data and information. And so I'm able to do some things in my business that I probably could never have done just 6 months, a year ago.
Now, if anyone's interested in getting a hold of you, aside from the toll-free number that I give out, 888-489-8980, do you have a direct number or direct contact that you'd like to give out?
Usually just email is always great. Rosh, R-O-S-H, at Rosh, ROSH.media is a good way, or Rosh.media is the website, and you can always connect via the website.
And what I admire about you, Rosh, is that we made calls together, is that the first step is that you are willing to meet initially to do an evaluation of the person's current condition and actually sort of do a critique if they do have a website as to how to get them up there in that search engine optimization.
Absolutely.
I can't help but repeat, I've heard a commercial that said, if your name doesn't appear at the top of the SEO list and your competitors are, what are you doing wrong? You can identify that. Am I correct? And at least telling them, hey, this is what you do, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are a lot of ways to get to the top of search engines. There are many search engines and many ways to be found. Using Google and other search engines. I mean, the bottom line is that a business solves people's problems. And using these tools helps you get in front of the people who have those problems. Mm-hmm. And there are many ways to go about it, and I help identify which might be the best approach.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there any particular business that you zero in on, or is your concept pretty well universal in almost all businesses?
Yeah, actually, it's very universal in the sense of I can't take two people in the same business, at least in the same location, because then the question is, who do you put on the top? Mm-hmm. So I'm often quite skeptical of companies that specialize in one business, because who are you working for then? You know, who gets to be on top? Mm-hmm. So I'm quite the opposite of that, and don't even recommend it if you're involved, you know, if you're a dentist or a contractor that has somebody who specializes in that type of marketing. You know, again, which of your competitors are helping more? Mm-hmm. So I tried to avoid that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the truth of it is that because of your experience in various businesses, you can many times bring ideas that you've seen successful in their competitors and implementing it for them. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I understand the algorithms. I understand what works. And yes, I bring over experiences from other industries and apply them to different businesses. And so we don't get stagnant. We're always trying something new and always testing new ideas, so we can continue to find our way up the ladder.
Right. Well, I've, had the privilege of having you speak to our Optimist and Rotary Club. So anyone out there that belongs to an organization and wants to hear what is really happening in the whole new business climate of technology, Rosh Sillars is a great speaker, and that's why I have you on the air. I don't want losers on my show. You got it, Rosh?
I don't know how to take that. I guess you make exceptions? What is this?
No, Rosh, you're terrific. You're sizzling. Okay.
Absolutely.
And we'll stay in touch. And if anyone is interested, as was mentioned, Raj doesn't charge for his initial consultation, and even if you don't take his advice, you'll at least be more knowledgeable, so that when the challenge comes up, you'll know that you've got some great support and a creative individual to help you get out of your dilemma. Thanks, Rosh, for calling in. We'll stay in touch.
My pleasure.
All right. We'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back. Family run for over 88 years, Frantz Hardware has remained family-owned and operated. Frantz Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Frantz Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Frantz Hardware.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome back. And if you are an entrepreneur, you certainly know the magic word called networking, okay? In fact, that's what we call ourselves, Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan. And I'm really excited that I am now an affiliate with half a dozen other networking organizations. One of the keys that you're welcome to try in your own life is, rather than being the Lone Ranger and avoiding similar type of businesses that may be competitors to you, team up with friendly competitors. What do I mean by friendly? The sexy word is affiliate. And I practice what I preach. I've been doing the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan now for, as I mentioned, 50 years. We have 20,000 contacts. And this is not like from the internet of email addresses of people you don't know, because I've been doing it for so long. I've met these people, shook their hand, met with them, talked with them, and we still stay in touch. And I'll tell you, my mail around the holidays, Thanksgiving, and Christmas keeps my mailman really in good shape, because we still extend greetings to one another. So if you're interested in teaming up with our organization, you don't necessarily feel like an outsider. Lakes Area Chamber of Commerce has 5 different chambers that we have meetings with. I'm a member of the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield and Optimist Club. And there's a club in your area, and I'll be more than happy to put you in touch. And yes, rather than just Googling Ike Engelbaum, Ikeenggelbaum, you can call me anytime. My cell phone number is 313-929-6105, but I do prefer that you stay in touch by way of the toll-free number, 888-489-8980. And I promise you that if you deal with me, unless I benefit some of the things that you're trying to reach, you don't owe me a dime. I've been doing this, and I've actually have had the joy of people that really were sort of frustrated in what they want to do, and just my evaluation of their situation. And I'll be upfront with you, not every one of my suggestions is going to make you $1 million. But I can help you in possibly getting a step closer. But you don't pay me unless I produce on our pre-arranged agreement. And I have an opportunity for you as an entrepreneur to become an ambassador of my thinking. And if you bring anyone in, you will earn some extra income, residual income. And it's a type of income that is called dream money. And you're going to ask me, what is dream money, Ike? I'm glad you asked. Dream money is where you make money while you're sleeping. That's dream money. Point is, there are so many people out there that are not quite sure as to whether they're on the right path in life. And many times they just need the connection to the person that can make it happen. I am so blessed that I've now that professional people that I personally know and that I can recommend strongly because they've done the work for me and I've seen them do work for others. And you know, the greatest gift that you can have in life, Maimonides, who was one of the great thinkers in our previous lives, Maimonides had a saying, the greatest deed you can accomplish in life is to help someone else become self-sufficient. As I joke about it, if you see someone drowning, the last thing they need is more water. Okay? I can help you helping others, and they in turn can help you achieve your goals. That's what the Entrepreneurs Network is all about. Aside from the networking, I am sort of an affiliate with one of the greatest motivational people and inspirational people alive today in the business world, and that's Brian Tracy. He has an organization called Focal Point, and he's written a phenomenal book with that title. And I guarantee you it's the best read that you have ever had and possibly may have. Not that there aren't any other great books like Think and Grow Rich. That is the classic one. Brian Tracy is in that category. If you are interested in getting a book like that, Brian Tracy's Focal Point, a proven system to simplify your life, double your productivity, and achieve all your goals. You know, a goal is so important. Like the great philosopher Yogi Berra once said, the trouble with not having a goal is that you never know when you get there. Well, if you'll call me at 888-489-8980, I'll help you in that decision process. Initial consultation, no charge. We can meet in person in any of one of our offices. We have them out in Wall Lake, Southfield, Michigan, and we can certainly meet at a convenient spot for you if Southfield and Wall Lake is out of your reach. We can meet halfway. And by the way, that's the key to success. Find the right people and meet them halfway. There are other thoughts I'd like to share, but not today. We don't have time. But I do have time for my favorite parting thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.